In today's video, we shall discuss exactly how to thoroughly wash your underarms in the shower. And excuse me, un momento por favor, while I get this stuff together before we begin. Yeah, and hopefully the lighting isn't too bad. I certainly hope I certainly hope it ain't like the last time where I didn't have it. I didn't have the thing in public. I said I can always edit this out if that is the case. Da, 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 In today's video, we shall discuss how to thoroughly wash your underarms. I don't know why I want to say armpits. How to thoroughly wash your underarms in the shower. So I got a couple of tools to discuss and a couple of things to go over. So that way you could get the maximum best out of everything. So we are brave here on this channel. We are all part of a brave family. When I say we, I'm referring to me and then you all. So this falls in the category of showering in your first step, which my shower team is probably very different, but simplified more so than others. Doesn't make it any better or any worse. It's just what simplification is what works for me when it comes to a shower routine. So this belongs in the area of the base notes. Sound familiar? If you're new here, short story is perfumers use a 3-step method of developing their perfumes and formulation. Base notes are the first scents that go in. That's usually what it dries down to after a couple of hours. Middle notes, that's the second set of notes they put on top after the first set. And top notes, that's usually what you smell straight out of the bottle once you spray it. Base notes, a shower routine. That's feminine hygiene using body washes, using body scrubs. Middle notes are using body creams and lotions and oils and all that good stuff. And then top notes is spraying my perfume and finishing up everything. All right. Now, this ain't my only fragrance of the day, but I'm just using up. I done put a big dent in it. This is discontinued, so if I tell you about it and it smells like the sweetest form of Fruity Loops, y'all gonna get mad because y'all gonna go looking for it and it's out of stock. I'm telling you, it's out of stock. Emmeline, hello, how are you? Hola, como estás? Bonjour. All right. Today we're discussing how to thoroughly wash your underarms in the shower. Let me make sure I have everything I need because we're gonna have a discussion. Okay. All right. So the first thing to note, the way that you want to go about washing your underarms depends on 2 factors. Actually, it's 1. It's just, you'll see what I mean. 1, as you can see, I got to take care of this tonight. So if you have hair underneath your arms, that's barely a couple days worth. So I'm going to go in with this after I get off with y'all off this live stream. You want to get rid of the hair, use the nair bars. So, although that's not much hair, this is what determines the next step you take in your shower routine. When you're focusing primarily on your underarms, if it has even a little bit of hair like this, just a little bit of hair, you want to go and get rid of that hair first. Now, some people will tell you about exfoliating. and using a scrub. Now I have a scrub to use this demonstration. I'm just not going to tell you the brand of it because that's a chat for another time. A really like thick abrasive shea sugar scrub like Tree Hut. That was not Tree Hut that I just showed y'all. But you want some equally as abrasive. Why? Because underneath your arms is the layers of those are the, especially if you're talking about tweezing or shaving or using a hair remover cream such as Nair or Veet, something that is specifically formulated for sensitive skin, you could wind up with ingrown hair, so you got to be careful. One thing to combat that is you use a abrasive scrub. This is the time you want to actually withstand it and just go on and get it over with, and use something as thick and abrasive as Tree Hut. This is almost as thick as that, but it's not Tree Hut. I wish they would come out with a purple one. Anywho. Get in there. You can scrub before and then go in with the Nair and take the hair off and then scrub after. I've done both. The difference in effectiveness as far as you using a body scrub to exfoliate underneath your arms before you take the hair off, before you shave, and then after, I haven't really noticed a difference. Plus, two, to add, I haven't really paid attention to that, but you still will get the same amount of smoothness. The point is either exfoliate before you take this hair off or after you take this hair off. But whatever you do, make sure you do it. Got it? Good? No? Rewind it back. This is going up on the channel. All right. After you have exfoliated and gotten rid of the hair, what else do you do? So I don't have body wash in front of me, but I'll tell you what I do have. Hold on. And I've started doing this and using this particular product rather than regular body wash. So with this, you have to use your own judgment. And I only covered up that camera because I went to reach in and I'm like, I know y'all don't want to see my shirt all in, but I'm trying to reach for something in front of me. Use, believe it or not, if you don't like Summer's Eve, use something else. If you don't like it scented, there's fragrance free in Summer's Eve and then other brands. Whatever you do, I'm going to recommend using feminine wash for, and I'm going to give you the stipulations for that. I recommend using feminine wash for underneath your arms. I'm going to tell you why. Because it is just as delicate as the lady parts area. We just spoke about the lady parts area just yesterday. Or the day before yesterday. That live stream is up. That video is already up. But then two, most feminine hygiene washes, Summer's Eve, Vagisil, FDS, so forth, currently on the market, they usually are pH balanced. That's a requirement, non-negotiable. Two, they're gynecologist tested, still safe to put underneath the arms. Three, most are aware of the dyes and parabens and are concerns about it. Most are sulfate and paraben free and all that other good stuff. And four, most of these feminine washes, whether it's Summer's Eve, Vagisil, FDS, Honey Pot, whatever, most of them are formulated to have odor control and last a long time, where it eliminates odor and leave you with that fresh scent, even if it's fragrance free. So I'm using this as an example. This is Summer's Eve Lavender Nighttime Daily Refreshing Wash. I found a very great difference once I started using feminine wash underneath my armpits as opposed to just using regular body wash. It was something about me using the body wash and maybe I would get irritated sometimes, or maybe I would have an adverse reaction, or I would have something else going on where it just felt like the body wash didn't belong underneath here to wash. And I still need to wash, but I also need something that is formulated for under something sensitive, because that, just like underneath your arms is sensitive, just like your lady parts, what we just spoke about not too long ago, is very sensitive as well. I've not had an issue with using feminine wash underneath it, and I found that it usually sets the greatest clean slate foundation for when I later go on and get out of the shower and I use a clinical deodorant. It's the best friend pair. It's the peanut butter. It's the peanut butter to the jelly as far as keeping the armpits fresh. You wash with feminine wash underneath your arms instead of a regular body wash. Then you're going with that clinical deodorant. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. One, two hitter quitter. I started at one hitter quitter, and I realized I had two products in front of me. I'm like, nah, sis, you can't say one hitter quitter. You got two products up. Yeah. Now, as far as moisturize underneath the arms, I only recommend this when you get back home. Because one, that's going to, putting lotion underneath your arms is going to interfere with a lot. One is going to interfere with you washing in the first place with your feminine wash. Two is going to interfere with you using the clinical deodorant. And then three is like, if you go out and you don't put on feminine wash underneath your arms, you don't wash with that, you don't put on clinical deodorant, you done got rid of the hair in front of all of that. That was actually the first step. And you go ahead and proceed to put on lotion. Then what did you do? What did you do? You're going to be sweating it out. You're going to be sweating it out. I understand now, as I used to hear as a teenager, as a kid. Don't put on the lotion out in the summertime. You're going to sweat it out. Good thing now, I thank God that they have formulations like this. And this is Tree Hut's Vitamin C. Whip Shea Body Butter. So it's meant to lighten the dark marks. I would have to do a whole case study for that, but all I know is this is one of the type of body creams, body lotions, at which when you put it on, it absorbs fast. That's a benefit for summer. You see how fast summer weather is approaching? I don't like it. So go in with your body creams that apply and absorb quickly, and they have a drier type of application. So it dries quickly. It feels like you didn't put anything on. They're non-greasy. Bodycology is another good brand for that, while I'm talking about it. And I still wouldn't recommend even putting those body creams underneath your arms. What I will recommend is this. If you're still wanting to moisturize underneath your arms after you have, one, gotten rid of the hair with the Nair bars, after you have then, exfoliated with a Tree Hut-like thickness of scrub, either before or after. And then you've gone in and washed it with a feminine wash that contains pH balance and all-day odor protection and odor blockages. You follow me? Okay? Okay, keep your eyes on me. And then you go in with clinical deodorant. So that way, that packs an extra punch. If regular deodorant don't do it for you, don't be ashamed. Clinical deodorant is here to save the day. Then if you still want to moisturize and you still want to put on the body cream, instead of putting it underneath your arms, because I'm using this as a demonstration, put it on your shoulder, around that area, but not underneath. That way you still have the smell of it, especially if you're going to use your favorite scented one. Put on your favorite body lotion. It applies very dry. Now, if you don't care and you want to use a greasy lotion, let me warn you. Apply it in layers. I'm going to actually, while I'm thinking about it, link you to a video after this one ends. I'm going to link you to a live stream, I believe, or video. Either way, I'm going to link a related video that goes over how to apply greasy lotion. So in case you don't care nothing about, I'm gonna step out in this heat, this smoldering heat, and I'm going to put on this greasy lotion. Okay, be my guest. I got a video that'll show you how to do it. So you follow those steps, you shouldn't have complaints, but you also shouldn't complain that you still might be sweating still, because it's greasy. That's all. But I'll put up at the end of this video and on the community tab. Ooh, I was going in. Anywho, I will also put it on the community tab as well. That I will do. Definitely will do. All right. For traveling underneath the arms, because I can't just share with you how to shower underneath the arms and show you the tools and the props and the products and the similar products to use. What happens if you're on the go and you've done all that work, you've gotten rid of the hair with the Nair bars, you have exfoliated with a thickness of a scrub, almost close to Tree Hut, or a bit more abrasive. I don't know anything that is more abrasive than Tree Hut. So if you find anything, let me know. Yeah. after you've done all of that work and you've applied your scented lotion around your arm, that still hits the target area of your underarm. But then if you're going out somewhere and you waving your hand and you happen to put your arm up, the clinical deodorant, whatever scent you get, is covering you. But then also you smell that sweet smell of lotion still moisturized, but you won't be undoing the work you just did, getting rid of the hair and washing and putting on the clinical deodorant. You feel me? It's still the same area. You're just not applying the lotion in the same place, and you're not messing up all the work that you're doing. Okay. Is there anything else I needed to cover? Yeah, touch-ups. Touch-ups. If you have gone in with Nair like this needs a touch-up. I'm going to just go in with this and completely eliminate it here. Looks like a deodorant. Ooh. Almost got some on my lip. That would not have been good. This is the Nair hair remover cream. Looks like deodorant packaging. Let me show you side by side. Okay, there we go. You want to get into the habit of doing touch-ups at least, I want to say once a week or every 2 weeks max. So for me, it's probably been almost 2 weeks, so it's time for me to do a touch-up, but I'm just going to wipe the whole slate clean. Reason being, you want to adjust how often you do your touch-ups once you take the initial whole amount off. Just because that hair underneath your arms, just like the hair down below your lady parts, that hair houses bacteria that causes the funk to rise. We just all the way out here on this channel. I'm not vulgar, but I will get to the point. Yeah, grace of God. Because why did you need to be vulgar to teach, for me to tell you the best thing to do? From my opinion, you don't need it. You don't. Get in the habit of doing touch-ups, and you want to adjust it according to how thick that you know. This requires you being observant of your own body and observant of your own, like, different cycles, not menstrual cycle, of how often and how fast the hair grows from your body in those areas. Audrey Russell, thank you, appreciate you. Now, if you know your hair grows pretty fast, you might want to adjust to doing that once a week, doing your touch-ups with hair remover cream or razors. One thing I want to say about razors, because I said I was going to touch base on this as well. The best thing I would say, not a traditional razor underneath the arm, especially after you have gotten rid of it with hair remover or you initially did it with a traditional razor. Go in with eyebrow razors. They sell them in bulk on Amazon. And I can't recommend the brand because I still have yet to test those out. But the regular eyebrow razors, those specifically designed for, specifically slated for dermaplaning, those are the best ones to put underneath your arms. You want to make sure that when you're going for touch-ups, you use shave cream or an oil or even a shea sugar scrub. And you make sure you're very light-handed with it. If you're not light-handed with you using shaving cream and shaving razors specifically, you might want to look into using Nair or using Veet, and make sure you get the sensitive skin formula. That's a requirement. That's not negotiable, because even if your skin takes a licking and keep on kicking, I probably said that backwards, it don't matter. Even if your skin is not sensitive, you still want to get something sensitive skin formulated, because you never know what's going to take place with all the many times that companies will reformulate stuff, rebrand stuff. Rebranding stuff is your first sign. Ha! That's a red flag. They reformulated it. They rebranded it. 9 times out of 10, they have reformulated it as well, allegedly. That's the reason why I say it in that particular order. So you're gonna make sure you're being very light-handed with getting rid of that with a eyebrow razor, with a dermaplaning razor. Those are specifically for your face and doing that. So if it is delicate enough and designed for dermaplaning on your face, I would opt to say that is the best thing to do underneath your arm for touch-ups, not the initial shaving process to completely wipe the slate clean. Another thing I want to address, because I'm pretty sure it's not me that has gone through this. If after you do all of that and you put on your clinical deodorant and you find that you sweat more just because all the hair is gone, I want you to put on the deodorant and then take a paper towel, now I don't have that with me here, and pat dry, and then apply that clinical deodorant again. That's something that you're going to have to get used to. Once you find that there's no hair underneath your arms and you apply it and it still feels like you didn't put any on, like it's sweating it out. Another thing you can do is switch to gel formulations that dry up fast. If the invisible solid here causes a problem, you can do the one that it's an invisible cream, like it still comes through the little holes at the top, but it's not a solid. And it's like a gel, but it's just a white cream formulation of a deodorant, and make sure it's clinical. And then those usually tend to dry really, really fast. And then you could put that on, and that should help combat you put on deodorant after your underarms are smooth as a baby's bottom. That should help. I can't tell you the feeling I felt when I first realized that was happening. Like, all the hair is gone. I should not be sweating after I put on deodorant. Like, everything's fresh, ready to go, clean slate. You still probably going to have that, because one, depends on the weather and the humidity. If you have humidity where you are, or unless you have the dry type of heat where you are. I can think of a couple states I can call out. I ain't finna call them out, but you know who you are. And you just, what you do is you adjust the type of clinical deodorant. You adjust the type of deodorant formulation, so that way that can accompany and work in conjunction with you wiping, having smooth as a baby's bottom underarms. Because then you would think you would not sweat after putting on a deodorant. After you've just washed, feminine wash, you've exfoliated, and it's smooth, not a lick of hair. And you put on that deodorant, and it's like, wait, I put on deodorant. Why does it feel a watery sweating immediately? If you're in a humid weather or a humid area, that's definitely going to take place no matter what you do. I would say take your deodorant with you. One thing I haven't seen, and I recently made this comment in one of my previous, just a couple days ago, vlogs, just window shopping for hygiene. I said, Publix, as a matter of fact. I said, now, why don't they have clinical deodorant travel size? You see travel size of the regular deodorant. But the thing about regular deodorant, not everyone's armpits are very friendly to regular deodorant, okay? And I happen to be one of them people. That's all I'm saying. Paisley Shane 13. Hello, how are you? Au revoir. Hello. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Thank you for stopping by. We talked about how to thoroughly wash your underarms in the shower, and I've gotten to the point where I talk about aftercare. Clinical deodorants is what we're talking about right now, because sometimes you get wiped the slate clean and have no more hair and do all the work to clean, and you put on the clinical deodorant or regular deodorant, and you're beginning to sweat it out almost immediately. So I'm giving some alternatives for that. But I wish to see clinical deodorant in the travel size. It's good to have the regular deodorant in the travel size, but we need clinical. Because sometimes that regular deodorant don't be cutting. You have you out here smelling like corn chips sitting on somebody's tour bus. You don't want that. You don't. You don't. You don't want that. Even though it smells like corn chips, it just smells bad. And then it's just going to irritate you, because I've done all this work. I have shaved the hair underneath the arms, and I've used feminine wash. I've done all this work. Everything's smooth. It's not a lick of hair, not a strand of hair, and you're still sweating. It's like time to upgrade from regular deodorant. I thank God for the 2 people that told me about, hey, why don't you try clinical deodorant? Before it was an actual thing. Very thankful for them. Very extremely thankful. Because every time I even think about switching back to regular deodorant, you know, because sometimes you might have stuff on hand in your little stash or whatever, or your stash, and it's like, oh, regular deodorant. That's usually, you know, you should still keep that on hand, but just like for temporary usage, like, okay, you don't have anything else, and then you're immediately going to get back to the house within 24 hours. Then you could make a little exception for, you can make an exception for having regular deodorant on hand as your like your travel emergency deodorant. You feel me? Yeah. I got more videos like this on the channel. I'm going to link you to a playlist at either the top or the bottom. In addition to, what did I say? I also was going to link you all to how to apply greasy lotions as well. And I'm going to put that on the community tab. I would suggest having a healthy snack to go along with it, including drinking plenty of H2O. This weather's not playing out here. This heat is not playing out here. So I surely hope that this has helped you have the most sweat-free armpits of all. And I'm going to need to do a touch-up myself with the Nair to get rid of the hair. And I'm probably going to exfoliate as well. Until next time.